Hello and welcome to Who Dares Rolls. I am your host, Mike B. Here we are for a Mumbo Jumbo for September of board gamey goodness and stuff and things and all sorts. A cavalcade, I will say, of stuff of interest, I'm sure. So, without further ado, having preempted all of that, let's do a bit of what I've played. So played a few bits, a bit of an assortment. Battlestar Galactica, we got a game of that in Sunday. 4 players. Jamie's brought it up and I thought, you know what, let's give it a go. We played with a piecemeal of the expansions. I kind of picked the least path of resistance with expansions. So it's the base game. Pegasus board is in there, though it never gets used really. The Cylon board, which is essential in my opinion. The overlays, bits and pieces, some of the characters, all the other characters, just all the ending stuff and all the other minutiae of the other ones. I kind of take them out because it just extends everything and it becomes very muddy and confusing. Anyway, very cool. We played it. It was quite a quick game. I mean, it was only 4 player. We kind of lost. So after evading the Cylon fleet for some while, we jumped our final jump. I took the choices as the admiral to do that. We took the jump. The ship was damaged in the midst of the jump. We ran out of fuel, but we made it the cobalt. Technically, by the rules of the game, we lost because one of the things went down. We did make it a cobalt. I'm kind of reading into the realms of that we did a jump, ran out of fuel, and were left drifting in space, just out of reach. So, typical Battlestar, really. But good fun. It was entertaining, as always. Aliens, another day in the glorious day in the core. Finally got to play that in on Friday. I've been meaning to play it for a while. Me, Bob, and Robbie. It took a while. You know what? I used to love the leading edge game of Aliens. I may have mentioned that before. It was a really great, thematic, simple rule set that you could just throw it on the table and play Aliens, the board game, and it was amazing and brilliant. And I hoped that Gale Force 9 had done the same thing again, just reborn it like a phoenix from the ashes. It had come back. And I'm left going, it hasn't quite managed it. It's overly convoluted, it seems. The rules, I mean, it was our first play, but there's a lot of deck switching and stuff and all this. I mean, it is this kind of pandemic-ish sort of you against the alien hordes. There is an option to play as an alien player. Potentially that might get dug up because Ben is a massive, big party pooper when it comes to co-op games, full co-op games. It's fun. Once you get your head around it, it's for me personally, it's not as good as leading edge game. That rule set was very simple and all this, whereas this hasn't. It also hasn't got acid spray in it, as far as I can tell. Maybe that's in the expansion bit. Because, we were gunning aliens down very close to us, and we were doing all right for a while. I mean, once we got going, we had Frostboost, Flamethrower, Hudson was giving it his all. We were in a good position. The first mission is rescue Newt. We kind of fucked that up a little bit, and then we were on the way out, and it was all looking good. And then about 5 billion aliens arrived, and then and that was that. So if you love Aliens, the movie, which I do, and I love the whole Alien series, it's all right. It's not bad. It's only 1 play. I need to play some more of it. I do want to play some more of it. I painted it all up to make it look nice. But yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed, and it is just a little bit overly convoluted in what is going on, what should be a relatively straightforward game, although, like I say, it was our first play. However, I'm going to play it some more because it's not terrible, and it's Aliens. So, what else? Racoon Tycoon. So Monday I went down to Board in the City, local board game cafe, deep in the heart of Southampton's knifing district. It's in a terrible location. You park up. It's like parking in the third world country when you park the car. And you're like, will this be here when I get here? If it's here, will it be burnt out? Who knows? And then you take the adventure of getting to the board game cafe in the hope that you maybe don't get stabbed on the way there. And of course, when you leave later in the evening, you have the extra roulette of, am I going to be stabbed, eaten, raped? In what order is that going to happen? Is the car going to still be there? So it kind of adds an interesting zest to an evening out at the board game club. As for itself, we played a couple of games. We played Racoon Tycoon. It was Graham's. We played it. We got a rule wrong. The rule was got wrong, and then we actually worked out that Graham's been playing a rule wrong the entire time he's been playing Racoon Tycoon, which is some period of time, I believe. However, ignore that. It's a stocks and shares type game. It's essentially you bidding on stuff. There is ridiculous. He's got a Kickstarter special one, so he's got these ridiculous player boards. I haven't got any photos of the version we played because actually my phone ran out of charge. So go figure. But I'll find some board game geek. I'll steal something from there, and then I'll get sued. But yeah, it's okay. It's a stock exchange thing. The theme is very much pasted on. There's some ridiculous opulent Kickstarter items like a giant slab of wood, which serves no purpose. The general gist is you're kind of buying buildings to get an engine build thing going on, to get money, to bid on stuff or buy stuff. And that's kind of it. For me personally, it was all right. It didn't do anything astounding. It didn't do anything more or less than maybe games like Stockpile does a bit of the bidding and stocks and shares thing. And I think quite more enjoyable in my opinion. The theme, as I say, is kind of, it's like, let's get a stock market game and apply the not Warship Down, Toad to Toad Hall. Yeah, that's it. Wind of the Willows. Let's apply Wind of the Willows to a stock market game because that's cool. And then you go, So I don't know. Me personally, yeah, it was left or right. I know we got bits wrong and we worked out what it would have been. It was fun, but it's not one that I've gone, I'm going to rush back to. I was kind of, yeah, okay, I've played that now. I'll play it again if someone hands it to me, but I'm not in any rush to go any further than that. And then we played Nivin. Oh, I knew I was going to struggle. It's a Viking themed, I believe. It's actually not bad. John bought it, who bought Descent the other week. We didn't play Descent again. I want to play Descent. And now I've got 3 weeks of volleyball practice with son number 2, so I can't even go. Stupid children ruining my life. It's a relatively straightforward game. It's set, basically, there's 3 sets of cards on the board, and you're putting coins down which have differing values on them, which you can upgrade during the game to place them in order of purchase value. So essentially, if you've got the high number on your first round of purchasing, then you'll get first dibs. So it's kind of, you're balancing out with which ones do I want to have first dibs on. It's set collecting. Essentially, there's different coloured sets of cards. There's 4 of them, I think. If you collect actually maybe 5. If you collect a full set of these characters, then you get a hero character, which gives you more buffs. But essentially, you're just set collecting and collecting as much as either certain types or colours or whatever, and you get more points depending on how many you've collected. It's very light, very throwaway. I'm trying to think. It reminded me of something. Can't think what it was. We'll come back to that possibly. It was okay. Art was okay. It looked aesthetically all right. I believe it's on Boardgame Arena if you want to give it a shot. Yeah, again, I was left kind of going, yeah, that was all right. But I was not left with any urgency to go and buy it or play it again. It was okay. So it was okay. Let's do some news. Here is the news. So news, top of the news. Let's do some crowdfunding news. So number one off the back is Portal have just put out yesterday is their Football Manager. It's on GameFound 11. It's their new Portal game. It comes from a designer who designed another football game which is very well respected that I should have read or written down here, and it would have been able to tell you that. Maybe I'll flash up the graphic, or maybe I won't be bothered. Anyway, 11 for Portal. Essentially, it was kind of the Football Manager game as a board game, which I used to play. No, I'm not in any realms a football supporter or fan, really not. I used to play some of the old Football Manager games just because I quite enjoyed what they were doing in the oldie worldy days. I've not played them more recently. However, on Sundays especially, and actually on Fridays, Ben is, Jamie is, Tony is, they're all football fans. So it was one I went, if it's reasonable, I might pick it up because I know that they would enjoy the theme and I can get behind it, play it. So I was like, okay, well, fine. So it's launched. The base game is €60, which seems a steep considering postage going on. There's nothing terribly thrilling exotic in the box. It's pretty much wooden chits and stuff and cards. And it looks like a lot going on. It's very Euro-y. From the comments section I've looked at is the actual football match in the game isn't great, apparently. That's a lot of people come down as they don't like how the football match system works in the game. My biggest issue is I literally tuned in, I thought €60, it's expensive. And then I scroll down and I look and there's add-ons, and there's already 5 add-ons, expansions for it, all at €20 each, which makes the cost of going all in on this game, it's like €180 with postage. It's a fucking football management game with nothing in it. There's very simple. I know prices of stuff are going up. I appreciate that, but it just seems ridiculously overpriced. It's on GameFound, and they did the same thing with Robinson Crusoe. And so what you're essentially paying for is probably going to be all the plastic bling that's coming on top of the game that you'll get if you back it on GameFound. They've already announced this giant plastic football stadium dice tray, which I don't want or need. So again, they missed a trick. I don't know why. I don't know. It looks like this. It's funded, but it's not funded massively. Done about 100k when I last looked. And there's a lot of the comments are quite negative in regards to the price and the football thing. So it's not hit with like maybe the gusto that they would like to have seen. I personally say I've taken a look. It's just totally turned me off of it. It's a ridiculous cost for something, and I don't know if I need all the extra stuff, but you know, come on, guys. I don't know. Anyway, so if you're in the mood for that, then fine. But yeah, it just seems rather expensive for what is essentially a Euro game. Other than that, what I saw on Kickstarter is Solar Sphere from Drada Games has been launched as well. They did Solar Storm last year or the year before last, which I reviewed and I found it was okay. It was kind of pandemic-ish. I love the idea of it. The theme sounded fantastic, but it never really translated into the game. It was very much a bit of a pandemic-ish in space. It was all right. It was okay. It was solid. It was fine. It played very well, but it was like it's not doing anything innovative or new, and the theme kind of was a missed opportunity for me in that game. However, it was good components, solid, and it played. It was fine. It was a small box thing. So they've done Solar Sphere, which is hit Kickstarter the other day. So the total opposite end of the spectrum in regards to 11 is that the actual buy-in on this is 33 quid for the base game. I think you can pay up to about 40 or 50 quid for the expansion bit. It's not very much. All in is about 50 quid, which it's a Euro game. It's pretty much the same looks and the same components as I'm going to get in 11. But yeah, it looks very cool. It's got Rado has been raving about it, but that's like everyone's got a Rado raving about the game. So that's I thought the original one was good. It's a really good buy-in thing. It's an engine buildery game with some kind of worker placement stuff going on, area control. It looks cool, and it's a very reasonable price. So I'm on the fence at the moment because I'm trying to avoid sinking much more money into GameFounds or Kickstarters because it's expensive, and I'm trying to kind of budget at the moment. But it looks kind of cool. So have a look, see what we like. Late to this, but I got an email from Portal. I've got the latest version of the Hiroshima Hex. They sent me a free code version of it. I used to play the old version. This is a new version, so I haven't looked at it yet or anything, so I've got it just to say I've got that. I'll look at it. I used to like the old Hiroshima Hex app, so we'll see what that's like. Talking of Portal, this turned up in the post yesterday. Dreadful Circus. It is Portal's new releases from old buddy Bruno Fiducci. Bruno, lovely Bruno. He loves a good drink, that man. So this is a kind of this is what Nivilda or whatever the fucking game is. This is what it reminded me of. This is very similar stuff. This is essentially you building a circus against everyone else. Let's have a look. I had opened it up already because I was kind of, let's have a look inside. Small box, small little thing. It's quite nice. There's quite a lot jammed in here. I had to take the insert out. So very nice rules, lovely jubbly. Essentially you get a player screen. There we go. There's some nice player screen. I do like the art in this, and the design. It looks kind of just funky cool. You get a player screen that goes down, and you get these little boxes which you have to assemble. I'll just warn you in advance now, which for each of your characters, and there is a lovely bunch of cards, which does look gorgeous. Look at all that. That's very nice. I do like it. I like the design aesthetics of this. So the idea is you all have to put out a card at the start of the game. Because I've skimmed the rules. You can bid on it in secret by putting what you're going to bid in your little box. And you can bid coins, and you can bid tickets or something. Contracts, that's it. So you can bid them, and you secretly put it down, and everyone will put a card out. Everyone bids on whatever cards they fancy the look of. And these cards are all kind of cool. Some of them are like a set collecting thing. Some of them will give you extra stuff, and some of them will have like actual stuff that happens when they play out on your board. Essentially, you buy a card, you then play out, and maybe something happens, and rinse repeat until such a point in time everyone is down to 3 cards in the hand, and then the game ends. It looks cool. It plays at this, so its lowest player count is 4 to 6. It plays up to, I think it's 7 or 8. Let's count the boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. You got a bag of chits in there, lovely stuff. So yeah, aesthetically it looks very cool. Bruno's actual designs are pretty solid. He did a Mission Red Planet and some other stuff. I like the aesthetics of it. I like it. It's a small box thing. It's relatively portable, although it's a real actual fight to get all that back in the box. I have to take the insert out once you've assembled it, but it does fit. So let's not panic about that. But yeah, Dreadful Circus. I was kind of interested when this was announced. See, I've done a thing there, which is I take these shots at the end of a video, and then I can snip the bits out. I think, oh well, that will work well. I can edit that in, or I can use that as the screenshot. I'll be making these poses. So I have just started posing randomly in the middle of this video, which is stupid. So yes, Dreadful Circus. It looks kind of cool. I will play at the weekend, and I'll let you know. But yeah, I like the look of it. Aesthetically, it looks really cool. It just plays a nice group. It looks fast. It looks fun. It looks like something I could get behind. I like the theming as well. It's got that kind of, like similar to Cardi's I picked up last month or so. It's got that kind of twisted, sort of fucked up, something wicked this way comes sort of circus thing going on. I like that. So that's that, Dreadful Circus. Lovely. Who Dares Werewolves stuff. Generally, what's going on with us? So I just dropped in the last day or so was Charlie's Little Boxes unboxing. He's looking at the Story Brewers micro mini box RPGs, sort of a game in a box. Take it out, play it, and go. So you can take a look at that. His Grail video is finally edited, so it's either out or will be out very soon. I will do that. I've got a couple of reviews that are nearly done or done. I've got the Vienna Connection review coming out for the Portals Vienna Connection. Cold War set spy shenanigans. Quite enjoyed that one. That'll be coming out very soon. I'm also doing Godfather from Eric Lang, because I always loved Godfather, and it doesn't get shouted out enough recently, and it's a little bit of a lost classic, so I'm doing a little bit of a review on that. That's it for that. What else have I been doing? So I watched... track this down. So this is something I've wanted for ages, and I suddenly saw that H&V have got them. They've got like exclusive to a few types of movies. One of them is The Hidden from I think it was 85, 88. It's got Carl McLachlan in it, a bunch of other kind of character actors, but no one of a major note. And it's what's her face from Babylon 5? I can't think of her name now. Doesn't even say on the back. She's only a little part in it. But anyway, the less you know about this, if you've never seen this has come out in the mid-80s. It is astoundingly good fun. I remember watching it when it first came out and being blown away by it and just loving it, and it being on pretty much constant repeat on the VHS until probably I wore it out. And I didn't see it on DVD. It's not been available on DVD. I didn't know that H&V had the exclusivity to it, but they've got it. I picked it up. They've currently got it in a 2 for something deal at the moment, so I picked a couple up. So The Hidden, brilliant stuff. Carl McLachlan as a FBI agent tracking down essentially this group of I don't want to give too much away at this point, though. Spoilers, really. I mean, this is like 20-30 years old movie, so screw it, we'll go a little bit deep into it. It's a bunch of guys basically go around like randoms, just suddenly losing their shit and murdering people, stealing fast cars and listening to loud music, and just generally being quite unpleasant in an 80s kind of way. It soon comes to light that there is some shenanigans afoot, as there's a bit of body swappy type stuff going on, and it's kind of like, woo! And it's pretty good. If you saw The Outsider, actually, which was on Sky recently, it's a Stephen King book. Actually, Stephen King basically ripped off The Hidden. So if you've seen that and enjoyed that, watch The Hidden. It's really good, really great. It doesn't let up. It still stands up pretty good now. The special effects are all right. It's an 80s movie. It's got that cool 80s, just fuck the world aesthetic. They just go to some crazy places and crazy shit. It's got some good, cool stuff. Good action, good mayhem. Violence, death, destruction, people being murdered all over the place. A nice storyline. It's a real cool little curio, and it's kind of lost to time. And it's great to watch it again. I watched it with the missus. She's never seen it, and she really enjoyed it. The Hidden, very good, very, very recommended. Go Hunt it down now and watch it. And then as I was picking one of them up, I saw this because I haven't seen this for a long time. Night Moves with Gene Hackman, directed by Arthur Penn, who did Bonnie and Clyde. It's I say a neo-noir. It's a 70s set, PI, sort of Philip Marlowe type affair with Hackman. And Hackman's fucking good in this. I forgot how good Hackman is in this. And he is bloody great in it. The rest of the cast are pretty much unknowns, other than Melanie Griffiths, who turns up like she's like 17 in this. It's a bit dicey in regards to some of the she's a bit promiscuous in this, I'll just say that. So it's essentially, the idea is Hackman is hired by Melanie Griffiths' daughter, a mum, a drunken ex-Hollywood starlet, to go and track her down as she's done a runner. So he's going to do that. Very basic setup. I'm sure that Tarantino has watched this movie, because I remember it vaguely as a child watching this, and now watching it again. Definitely this had some inkling on Tarantino in regards to what he did once upon a time in Hollywood, because this is all set in and around Hollywood bit players and stunt characters and all that sort of in there, and Hackman's interacting with them. What is kind of cool is it's a really weird movie, because it is essentially kind of almost like a relationship drama. For about 2/3 of the movie, we're really embroiled in Hackman's terrible marriage, his wife's infidelities, Hackman's infidelities, potentials, his totally inadequacy of being the PI. He's shit at it. He's actually really too nice a bloke. So he's just shit at being a PI, and he kind of just bumbles through the story as he goes along doing his thing. There's a great actress in it who didn't get enough time. Susanna Clarke, I think her name is. And she turns up as this really quirky kind of character. And she's got some really fantastic lines. It's got just this weird buzz to it. And it's a weird one. You watch it, and then the ending just comes in a 70s fashion right out of the blue at you. And it does a really good job of tying everything up and just kind of leaving you on this 1970s sort of note, as they liked to do. Just you like, fuck me. And I remember bits of that. It kind of came back as I was watching it again. And it's a weird one. It's slow going. It is this weird, slow going movie. It's very much all, as I say, half of it at least, or 2/3 of it, is kind of all this relationship drama rather than any PI type stuff going on. There is this stuff boiling away under the bottom, under the basement, but it's mainly this. So it's a weird thing to come at, and it does go on a bit, and it almost jumps the shark, but then it kind of does it, and it leaves you after you've watched it. It's one of those, and I'd watched it, and I was left afterwards. It's still mulling in my head days later of just how great a story it was. And Hackman is brilliant, just brilliant in it. He normally plays such a big, brash, sort of loud, sort of manly man type thing, and he's not playing that in this, and he does it very well. And it's good. It's definitely an acquired taste. It's not for everyone, as I say. It's 1970s PI stuff. It is violent in places. Arthur Penn was kind of a bit the Tarantino of his time. He did Bonnie and Clyde, which was incredibly violent when it first came out. It's still quite violent now. There isn't so much of that violence in this, but there is some, and it's a cool kind of quirky 70s movie. To chime in, they would never make this movie again now. Never would happen, because it's all character. It's all about character and all that building of character and build for the payoff. So yes, if you can track it down, it might be on YouTube or somewhere. Try and find it and do it. Otherwise, because the only place you can get it apparently is H&B, and I wouldn't. It's definitely a Marmite situation. I wouldn't want you to buy one and then go, what the fuck is this, Mike? Why have you given this to watch? But The Hidden, go and watch The Hidden. And there's definitely some other cool stuff there. They had Wolfen, which I highly recommend. Innocent Blood, which I highly recommend. Crow, which I highly recommend. I think Outland is a bunch of that series, because I think I already own it. Any of those you could get alongside The Hidden, and you'd be laughing, just saying. Anyway, that was it. So that's what I've been doing. I probably watched some other stuff, but it's irrelevant now. We're moving on very swiftly. That was us. It is warm. I am perspiring. That is the start of September's anyway, Mumbo Jumbo. I've been Mike B. This is Who Dares Rolls. You can patronise us, do stuff, share, like, subscribe. And we've got more subscribers. Hello, all new subscribers. We're like nearly knocking on the door. 400 subscribers, I think. Who would have thought it? How exciting. Oh, I'm quite lightheaded and lost the plot, really, haven't I? Yes, I have. Anyway, this is that. It's warm. I'm hallucinating. I'm going to go and do stuff now. I'll catch you up soon. Have fun. Look after yourselves. And see you soon. Bye-bye.